Today on Make It Happen, we will be making a Spartan shield for cosplay. First, you will need a dished item to create a shield template. I was fortunate enough to have this fiberglass shield to use, but a shallow bowl or a ball can be used. The curved item is to be covered with alfoil and masking tape, and then be cut out into a quarter sector. Your template might need to be enlarged and modified to lay out flat. The template was then transferred to EVA foam and cut out with a Stanley knife so that I had 4 quarters. I then took a heat gun and began to pre-curve each quarter, which were then hot glued together, but I should have used contact cement. Extra sections had to be cut out to allow the shield to curve properly. The next step is to take a rotary tool and begin smoothing out the edge to allow for strips of foam to be glued to create a thickened rim. For the symbol of Achilles, I cut out a few pieces of EVA foam which had their edges sanded down to a curved bevel with my rotary tool and then were hot glued onto the face of the shield. For the handle and strap, I first cut out a structural base piece with 5mm plywood, which was glued and secured with gap filler and extra EVA foam supports. The straps themselves were an old leather belt which was pop riveted and glued to the plywood. I then began applying a multi-purpose gap filler all over the seam lines and imperfections. This was then sanded down to a smooth surface with a 120 grit sandpaper. The next step is to apply 4 coats of PVA wood glue or just use Plastidip. For painting, I started off with a grey primer and an aluminium spray for a metal base. The rest of the details were masked off and painted using an airbrush with the different colours and sealing off each detail with a clear spray so that the masking wouldn't peel off the paint. If you have enjoyed this tutorial and would like to see more, please subscribe to Make It Happen.